My hands, cause I'm gonna be taking delivery of my brand new Trackhawk. It's on the way, so I'll just pick these up and then I'm gonna give y'all some footage through the lens of Brandon. Don't try with them. Yeah. That's good. Appreciate that, sir. I'm a big fish. Chase on my dick when I be riding cause I flip shit. Push out the water, now I get my dick left. I run risk on everybody in your clique shit. I kept it going, brick or more, we can mirror one. No! 17, ain't no fucking way! Oh my god! You on the rock in with the smoke, but I was moving down. Ah! I used to drive shit back in 5012 when I saw it. Oh my god! I should hit it. I should dodge it. Oh my god! So I hit it on his ass. I should hit it on his. Oh my god. I really got it though right now. Where you feel it? I used to mix the blue gray, give it real spice. The type of food that walk up. Bro. I got this hoe at 53 miles. I got pulled over at 55 miles. It's crazy. And I got the glasses.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Like when you got cited for driving an unregistered Dodge Charger, you were in California. So when we run you out of California, you have an index number out of California.
And it was both brand new. It was both brand new.
Right? Well, you see how that looks on our end?
It was both brand new though.
We're rolling around in brand new Dodges, which are commonly stolen.
But these aren't stolen though. They're not registered as stolen. And I'm obviously somebody who doesn't need to steal cars.
I don't know that. Right? I don't know you. I don't watch football.
You don't have to watch football. It's just they're not. Nothing says that they're stolen. Nothing says that I'm stealing cars.
I didn't say you are. I'm saying that's what it looks like, right? So give us a couple minutes. We gotta look a bunch of stuff up. Okay.
Brand new Trackhawk, bro. I got the Trackhawk at 53 miles. I got pulled over at 55 miles, bro. Can't make this up, man. I've been waiting. I've been waiting all day to get this off the truck. I just literally got this off the truck. And I'm doing my wraparound. I just got the car off the truck, so you know what I'm finna do. You know I'm about to spin. You know I'm about to spin. I'm about to hear the engine. I just brand new whip, bro. You know how this goes. And bro said, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna have to pull you over. Here you come.
I'm not gonna get you out of the car, but I want you to pop that door real quick.
You want me to pop the hood too?
No, you're good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You want to see what's under the hood? You want to see what's under the hood? No, you don't know what's under the hood. Hey, let me go. Hey, let me hit it real quick. You trying to hear it? We out of here. We out of here. I said, you trying to hear it? He said, hell yeah, go for it.
I spoke to a man who was riding in a construction truck with one of the men who was arrested last week. He says ICE pulled him over and then took his colleague into custody. We spoke to him by phone, and he asked we conceal his identity. He says ICE agents seemed focused on residents from a particular building. ICE says his 22-year-old co-worker was arrested for entering the country illegally back in 2019.
I was not aware of his immigration status or issues, and when they told me that they were going to take him out, of course I got really upset. It's kind of a shame that they're stopping people that are just trying to go to work, but he was.
President Trump has said his plan for mass deportation would focus first on violent offenders and gang members. As one ICE leader put it, quote, the worst go first. But immigration advocates say it's becoming clear with the recent arrests that ICE is not limiting who it's targeting.
I think one thing that has been clear, Julie, is that all immigrants are now an enforcement priority or a removal priority. That was always different under other administrations.
I spoke to a man who was riding in
an incidence of, get this, there are growing numbers of reports and incidents of immigration agents confronting Native Americans, mistaking them as undocumented individuals. Apparently, there's a growing presence of ICE in southwest cities in Arizona like Phoenix and Tucson, places where there are large populations of Native Americans. It has become such an issue that the Navajo Nation president, the president of one of the largest tribal nations in Arizona and the United States, had to issue this warning to his citizens. As a Navajo and indigenous person myself, I say to my indigenous relatives, it's not fair. We shouldn't be racially profiled in this way, but please stay safe and try to always carry proper documentation at all times.
All right, shalom, shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakar Give the honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and in sincerity, all the men and the women who follow. This is the brother Karatazar for the GMS Nebraska camp, coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This one being entitled, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, racial profiling in Babylon. All right, and you see 3 videos here, all 3 examples of racial profiling dealing with 2 tribes. Okay, we had one with the football player, Brandon Ayuk, all right, driving while black. All right, he's a multi-million-dollar football player in a brand new car, but because he's a so-called nigga in a nice car, he must have stole it. All right. Then, of course, you have Issachar, and, well, I'll say Issachar first, but, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Colombians, Dominicans, Haitians, all you other tribes, mainly you Latin tribes are experiencing, this racial profiling with these ICE agents. All right, they're coming to schools and churches and restaurants, the fruit fields, any construction sites, anywhere that they know that Latino people populate. All right, these neighborhoods are becoming, like hunting grounds. All right, and then of course you got, the Native Americans, all right, who they're not exempt because they appear to be Latino because we're all one people. They're all part of the 10 tribes, the 10 lost tribes, the Latinos and the Native Americans. So because they look similar, they're being profiled and they're being discriminated against. So I wanted to stop it on this just to see exactly what the chief had put. But before we get into this, let's get this definition of racial profiling, which is the use of race or ethnicity as grounds for suspecting someone of having committed an offense. All right. So basically, someone just looking at you and you've done something wrong, or they're suspecting that you've done something wrong, just based off the color of your skin, on how you look. Maybe you look like a YN, so you must be a YN, so you up to no good. You could be a whole college student. You could be a hard working man. You could be an NFL player. They don't give a fuck. If you're a nigga, you're a nigga. All right. If you're a spick, you're a spick. If you're a wetback, you're a wetback. I'm using those terms as this is how the so-called white man looks at us. All right, because that's all we are to them. We're not human. We're not men. We're not Israelites. We're not sons of God. We're not men of the Lord. All right, we're just niggas with backs and so on and so forth. All right. So I got an article here. It is actually an old article. All right, from June of 2018. It says how racial profiling goes unchecked in immigration enforcement. Y'all bear with me. A Pennsylvania judge heard uncontested evidence that ICE agents violated constitutional rights during an arrest last year, but wasn't enough to stop deportation proceedings. It says when immigration officers raided a rural Pennsylvania poultry transport company early last year, the lawyer for 5 undocumented men arrested saw plenty of evidence that their rights had been violated. The immigration and customs enforcement officers had no warrant to drive past the company's no trespassing signs and block exits with their vans, or to demand documentation on the workers' legal status. According to witnesses, the officers seemed to target workers solely based on their ethnicity. They lined up Latinos for questioning and asked white employees to lead them to more Latino workers. That's what you would call racial profiling. These guys are Latino. They probably shouldn't be here. Give me all the Latinos and give me some more Latinos. All right, we're gonna shake them down. You can't shake someone down. You can't pull somebody over just because you know they're Mexican or because they're black or because you don't think that they fit in that area. All right, but this is what we go through. All right, and what it's doing, why I said it'll turn the Egyptians against the Egyptians. All right, we're living in a society to where uh, everyone's But let me just give a scripture and then I'll explain it better. Where I'm trying to give this is Matthew 12:25. It says, and Yahweh knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself shall be brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So as long as there's infighting, as long as people are able to be profiled and the so-called white man is in rulership, he's gonna bring hell upon the nations. He's gonna bring hell upon your tribes. And then what does that do? It incites more action, all right? Because now ICE is as you can see they've been out of order, but now Trump is putting a battery in their back, so they're ramping up. And now what happens when you get now you got KKK rallies in Jake neighborhoods in Ohio. All right, things like that are going to start becoming the norm, so that you're going to have these uproars. Matter of fact, give me one moment, Baba Kushah. All right, Salakia for that. So let's get this next scripture, which is Isaiah 19:2. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. All right. So, like I said, the climate in America is getting very us versus them, very black versus white, Mexican versus white, Native versus white, pretty much Israelite versus Edomite. But everyone else is I would say feeling it on a lower level because you do have other immigrants from other nations, who aren't feeling it as much, but I would imagine that they're still feeling it. The as she said,
construction truck with one of the men who was arrested last week. I spoke to a man who was riding in a construction truck with one of the men who was arrested last week. He says ICE pulled him over and then took his colleague into custody. We spoke to him by phone.
I'm going to just get right to it. All immigrants are now an enforcement priority. It doesn't matter if you've committed a crime or not. All right, if you ain't from America, then it's a target on your back. All right, but that's, like I said, it's part of the elite's plan to, like I said, the house divided against itself shall not stand. And it's very, us versus them kind of energy going on. This is Isaiah 13:14. It says, and it shall be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. Well, now, a roe is a deer. All right, and we've all seen like a lion, a predator chasing a deer. That roe or that deer, it runs frantically for its life. It may dodge left and dodge right, and go straight and zigzag left, and that's what the scripture is speaking about, how people are going to be in those days, okay, and the time of the great insurrection, the time of Jacob's trouble. So it says, in a sheep that no man taketh up. People are going to be frantic. People are going to be. There's a video. I wonder if I could find it. Lord's will, I can find it and do another video on it. It's like an old movie where like some nuclear bombs were going off in the cities, and the people were just like scattered like roaches. That's the best way to put it. That's how people are just gonna scatter like roaches. For various different reasons. As it says in Second Ezra. So we'll put a pause on this and just jump to Second Ezra real quick. Second Ezra 15, and I'll start at 14. It says, "Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh." Right. So we know that woe, going back, that woe is destruction. All right, to the world and the people. Okay, because the sword, which the modern day sword is that gun. All right, and also the nuclear weapons and things of that nature, but destruction is coming close. All right, we're getting close to the end. So the destruction and desolation, is right around the corner. It says, "And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." So yeah, you're gonna have people fighting each other. Yeah, you're gonna have people at odds with each other. All right. People are going to draw guns on each other. People are going to die. People are going to kidnap people. People are going to take people. People are going to, and you know what I mean by take people. People are going to do what they have to do to survive. For there should be sedition among men and invading one another. That sedition is just speaking about, a lack of respect for government, all right, for law enforcement. So they're not going to care whether you're a deputy, the mayor of the town, all right, or Donald J. Trump. In the time of need, people are going to meet their needs. All right. It says, invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right. So it's going to be a time that never was before, that the scripture says. A man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able, right? There's going to be martial law. Things are going to be blocked off. There's a movie with the guy Batista. He's a former wrestler. I think it was like Flatbush or something like that. The neighborhood in Brooklyn. Let me see. Yeah. I can't remember what it's called. We'll find it. Give me a second. I believe it Bushwick. Yeah, so if you ever go watch Bushwick, it's a very good movie, and it'll give you an example of that chase roe. It'll give you an example of sedition among men. All right, and also that desire to go into a city and should not be able. Why? It says, for because of the pride, the city shall be troubled, houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods before the lack of bread and for great tribulation. People are going to need those basic necessities, which is it's like it, water, food, and shelter. All right. Water, food, and shelter. That's what everyone's going to, those are the basic needs to survive. All right. Of course, you're going to need clothes. You're going to need shoes and socks, just like the basic necessities. But, nigga get by with water, food, and, somewhere to get out of the cold. All right. So it's right now, it's on a minor scale. Jake been getting profiled. Jake been get pulled over for driving while black. But now, like I said, with these ICE arrests, so-called white man has a battery in his back, and he believes that, that they're going to get rid of, the bad elements, which is, Jake. So before we go, we can read this real quick. It says, if agents approach or question you in public, ask to verify their identity politely. Request to see the agent's identity or badge to confirm their legitimacy. Because you got people with a battery in their back, all right, just trying to, get us up out of there. Do not resist. Even in the event of immigration agents' forced entry, remain calm and avoid resistance to their actions, because they'll kill you. All right, a so-called white man, a white guy with an axe walking at a police officer, and the police officer holding his gun up, walking back, trying to avoid the conflict. But it was a Jake, he'd have blown him away. It says, if you are detained or arrested, clearly state, I am exercising my right to remain silent. I want to speak with my attorney. Document the encounter if possible. Record their interaction through video or audio, and make a note of important details such as names, times, and any relevant circumstances. Report the encounter. Notify your local American Civil Liberties Union, or the ACLU, affiliate or legal support organization about any raids or checkpoints for proper follow-up and assistance. If agents show up to your home, do not open the door. If immigration agents do not represent or do not present a valid warrant, keep the door securely closed and respectfully state, I do not consent to your entry. Ask for a warrant. Ask to see the warrant signed by a judge before allowing any action to proceed. And like, why do you have to do all of this? If you're an American, excuse me, you were born here, you shouldn't have to do all this. But we do have to do all this. We have to be overly nice when we're pulled over so that we don't get shot. We have to carry your ID, your social security card, your passport. Gotta have your name tattooed on you, and this is why they just want to put a chip in you. Because they put a chip in you, they gonna know if you're outside your zone. All right, if you ain't got access to be in that zone, in that country, in that 15-minute city, in that county, in that country, wherever, then they're gonna come and get you. So that's why, it's all part of the game. It's all part of Esau's plan. So that's really all I really wanted to get with this lesson. Lord's will, you were edified. So I give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakar Give double honors to the apostles, the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and the women who follow. They shalom.